Hey everybody, welcome back to the Balanced Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Kirsten. Today we're going to talk about discipline and how to build discipline so that you can accomplish the things that you want to achieve and accomplish, no matter what they are. And of course, on this podcast, we're mostly talking about fitness related goals, but it can be anything. And I think we all know that when there's something that was really worth accomplishing, getting, it always required discipline. Maybe it was your education, your degree, or maybe it was getting that job. Maybe it was a certain physique goal. Maybe it was some kind of monetary goal or something you wanted to buy. It always took some discipline and getting uncomfortable. And this is important because things just generally speaking, they don't fall in our laps just randomly. We do have to get ourselves together and sacrifice a couple things and become a little bit more disciplined. Now, of course, there's a couple of different ways how we can approach discipline and what the discipline can be driven by. So, for example, we can have this kind of discipline that a lot of people have in January 1st when they realize that I really need to get in shape because I look so gross. I can't stand the way I look. And, even just looking myself in the mirror is the worst thing ever. So therefore, I'm going to hate myself into better shape. And I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week and starve myself, eat nothing. So this is this really bad kind of discipline that's rooted in self-negativity, self-hate, and it's never going to last because it's just not sustainable. And if you try to hate yourself into better shape, I have never seen this happen in a healthy way. Now, there can also be a good kind of discipline, and which is something that I hope that you are using when you are approaching your goals. And this is driven by self-respect and wanting good things for yourself and showing up for yourself and proving to yourself that I can do these hard things and then being rewarded. Because discipline always, you have to get uncomfortable for a second, but you will be rewarded afterwards. And this really comes from, self-respect. You want good things for yourself. For example, you realize that you want to get healthier, you want to get fitter because it's really annoying when you go up a set of stairs and then you're out of breath, or when you realize that, the clothes that I used to fit in, they're not fitting anymore and I'm just not comfortable. Well, start with self-respect and understand, I want to feel better. I want to feel better in my skin. I want to have better health and better fitness. Or maybe it's a monetary thing, or maybe it's like a vacation that you want to take your family to. You're doing this because you love your family, you love these people, and you want to give them something. So this is coming from self-respect and care rather than self-hate and criticism. So I think it's very important to understand the difference between the two. Now, of course, when it comes to fitness and food, we absolutely have to have discipline. And it's not just as easy as intuitive eating, and then the body fat will just go down and the muscle will just magically appear. Because when we just ate intuitively, then we will keep getting the same results, right? So if you're currently not tracking anything or not weighing or not paying attention to anything, just eating intuitively, then you will continue to get the same results. And in order to change something, we have to get a little bit more disciplined with, for example, tracking our food, writing it down. There are many levels how you can do this. Not everybody needs to track. For some people, just writing it down is very eye-opening and they can start making better choices. So there's definitely different levels of that, but there has to be a self-discipline, and there's going to be a little bit of discomfort making those different choices then that are helping us to get closer to our goals. And the other day, it's probably a couple of weeks ago at this point, I did an Instagram story on this topic, and I got a very, very critical comment, which said that, saying that you have to be disciplined, it's very disordered, it's very sick. I certainly must have eating disorder myself. And I was actually surprised to read this because what I was suggesting is what I just told you, we need discipline in order to see a change. And there's nothing to do with self-hate. Who says that every time that we have to change something about our lives, it is because we're hating ourselves so bad? Maybe because we're loving ourselves, and maybe because we want better things for ourselves. So I don't think that being disciplined necessarily equals being disordered or being crazy or being, just like, yeah, mostly crazy. I think maybe there was even word psycho involved, if I remember correctly. So this was surprising to me. And it doesn't have to look like I hate myself and this is why I'm disciplined. Not at all. So make sure that your foundation is right and make sure that you're doing things from a good place. So today, when I'm going to share with you 6 tips, I'm also referring a lot to this book, which is called The Power of Discipline by Daniel Walter, that I just read recently. So some of the tips are from this book, and then some of them are from other resources that I have read or come across. But I think overall it will be a good, well-rounded approach to discipline and how to get better at this, because only that's the way we can get the results that we want to get. So this book defines discipline as temporary discomfort to get the long-term benefits later. And I think it's really well, you can say any better than that. So temporary discomfort. Yes, let's say when we're not feeling like going to the gym at all, I don't want to go. It feels so nice to be in bed and rest a little bit more. And then we make the decision to still go. This is the temporary discomfort, right? And the goal here is to get the long-term benefits later. So yeah, we're gonna feel good later, right? So you're going to feel energized, you're going to feel good, hopefully, unless you're overtraining and doing something really wrong, and then you will be rewarded. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel good right after the workout. And of course, over the time, over the course of a couple of months and several years, you're really going to see the benefits that, that are showing up now because you have been consistent and disciplined doing the important things. Now, before I even get into those tips, I also want to say that you don't have to use discipline. You don't have to power through and be so strict with yourself. There are certain times when it's so much better to actually take some time off and give yourself some rest and not do the thing that your disciplined mind would tell you to do. So my approach is probably a little bit softer. I'm not like, very military type of coach who would tell you to always do things no matter what. Let's say you got 4 hours of sleep and like, nope, you're going to do the workout. I will absolutely not say that. So you have to realize that there is some room and it's always important to listen to yourself too. When you want to make a good decision for yourself, there's a big difference between staying in bed because you're not feeling well or you only got a couple of hours of sleep versus staying in bed because you just don't feel like going to the gym, right? So I hope that this is clear and that you absolutely understand that. Okay, so what are then the 6 tips that I have for you today if you want to develop better discipline? So the first thing is from this book, and it says, who do I want to be? Think about who do you want to be? And then the extension of this would be, and it's not from this book, but it's from elsewhere, it is act as if. I like to add this one in here too. So for example, if you think, who do I want to be? That will help you to make the better decision. For example, what does a healthy person who cares about her well-being do, right? So does she sit on the couch and, just watch mindless news, which are toxic for your brain and, bad for your body if you lay there all day long? Does a healthy person do that? And probably not. So if you say that I want to be a healthy person, what does a healthy person do? So instead, the healthy person would probably get up and go for a walk, get some sunshine, or go to the gym, or make herself a healthy meal instead of watching the news that are just toxic and maybe like eating something that is not very healthy. So who do I want to be? And then second part that I added to it, and start acting as if. So start acting as if you already are that person. So maybe you are not super healthy right now. Maybe you are not exactly prioritizing your fitness and health right now, but still starting as if you already are. So what does this person do? And start acting this way until it becomes your second nature, or your first nature, maybe. Can you say it that way? I don't know. But you want to become that person, right? So start showing up as somebody who already has these things that you want to have, already is the way that you want to be. And you can start seeing how everything starts to change much faster. The second point that this book makes is that catch yourself in the moment and realize, if I do X now instead of Y, X being something bad, Y being something good, I will also continue to do this in the future, right? So I'm using the same example. If you are watching the news, laying on a couch, and you're doing this every day of the week, then if you do this now instead of doing Y, which is like getting outside and getting some sun, then I will also continue to do this in the future. And that actually really, really powerful for myself too, because there are things that I personally struggle with as well. For example, one of the things, checking social media all the time. Why do I have to check it all the time? And now I literally think, if I pick up my phone instead of serving more people or helping more people, if I do this right now, this very moment, then there's a good chance that I will continue to do this. And then I continue to do this and continue, and it's not getting closer. It's not getting me closer to my goal, to helping more people with their health, right? Just not going to happen. So I think this is a really good, like, in the moment tool, right? If I do this now, let's say you get some idea, I want to do this, and it's not aligned with your goals. Remember that you're going to keep doing the same thing in the future as well if you don't change it in this very moment. So if you don't put that phone down and then you keep scrolling, you're going to keep doing this, right? Not going to get you to a better place. The third point that was from this book is this idea of surfing the urge. And this is actually from another author. His name, I wonder if I can find it, but there is a psychologist who first came up with it, Alan Marlett, who introduced this term first. And it basically means that when you get an urge to do something and you know that this is not good for you or this is not aligned with your goals, you can do a quick meditation where you basically imagine yourself riding the wave. So the urge is the wave. So the way you would do it is to first notice where this urge is coming from in your body. You can think of whatever the example is, right? Where is it coming from in your body? And then once you have located it, then you're going to focus all your intention on that area and observe the sensations that you are experiencing. Okay, what's going on in my body right now? What is this that I'm experiencing? And then you're going to spend about a couple of minutes just using your breath and imagining every sensation and urge that you're feeling as if it's a wave, right? And so you notice that these urges then tend to get more intense, and then sometimes they kind of slow down, and they may get more intense and slow down until eventually they slow down. So this is different from fighting. This is different from like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I hate myself, just stay away from the kitchen. It's different from that. So you're actually getting mindful. You're actually getting into a sort of a meditative state where you're just sitting down and leaning back and noticing where the urge is in your body, closing your eyes, imagining yourself in a wave, and then just seeing the wave kind of getting more intense, going down, and then you will probably realize that this urge goes away. But the problem is that a lot of times we don't have that mindfulness at all. We just like go through life on an autopilot, and we get like one urge and we quickly respond to it. And we just had a good conversation with one of my clients who said that she notices now that she's becoming so much more mindful of her choices when she's actually paying attention and not reacting so quickly to every single craving and every single urge. And she's now starting to see results. So for her, yoga has been very helpful because she's doing like 20-30 minutes every day. And she says, when I'm doing that, I'm getting so much in touch with myself. I'm paying attention. I'm noticing what's happening inside my body. And I'm definitely so much better at surfing that urge and not reacting, right? Not reacting necessarily. All right. So the fourth point is to stop focusing on the goal and focusing on the system instead. I love this. I think this is very, very powerful. So a couple of episodes back, I talked about the New Year's resolutions and how so many of us have just this glamorous goal. I want X, but we have no plan. So I call it the game plan. This author is calling it the system. So you have to have a system in place. And when you're only looking at the goal, you're not taking action probably, right? Because you don't have any specific steps laid out. But those specific laid out steps make up your system. And now when you follow your system, you're doing the things in that system every day, or however many days a week you have committed to do them, they will get you to your goal. So for example, if you have a goal to put on a lot of muscle and lean out, and you know that you will have to do certain things for it. For example, walk 8,000 steps a day, get to the gym 3 times a week, eating 140 grams of protein every day. So this is now your game plan, and this is now your system. So when you do that consistently, you follow the system, then you will get your goals. So it's way more effective than just sitting and thinking about the big glamorous goal because now you don't even know how you're going to do this. So focus on the system, one step at a time, little by little, and you will get to your goal. All right. The fifth point, and I really like this. I haven't used this yet, but I love this idea. So get yourself a physical calendar, like a paper calendar, and start putting a gold star for every day that you followed your plan. So let's use the same example. In order for me to burn some body fat, put on some muscle, whatever it is, I want to walk 8,000 steps a day. So now you did it on Monday and you're going to put a little gold star. It's like, it's cool, right? You're going to put a little gold star in your calendar. And then you did it on Tuesday. Now you have 2 stars. And then Wednesday, now I have 3 stars. So every day you're going to put a little mark in your calendar. And then once you have already 3-4 days, you don't want to break this cycle. You keep going, right? You keep going on your walks and doing them. You keep following your plan. And if you see this in front of you, I think it can be very, very powerful and help you to get the stuff done that you need to get done. All right. And the 6th tip that I have for you, and this is not from this book, this is actually from Mel Robbins. So if you are not familiar with her, she's a great public speaker. And I like that she has these little nuggets that are so genius, very smart, but really, really powerful and so simple at the same time. I think I think it's absolutely awesome how somebody has come up with something so simple, made it like written books on it, and had a lot of public speaking on these topics, which are just so simple and so genius. So for example, one of the things she has is the high five, right? So you high five yourself in the mirror every time you see you. And for her, it's like mood boosting, it's energizing. It's like, I'm doing the things. Yes. It's like self-confidence, all that. So that's one of the things that she has, like consistently high five myself in the mirror. But the one that I wanted to mention today is to use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, right? So basically the idea is that when you know that you have to get something done, what helps you to get that thing done is counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then you just go. So you're not going to leave your brain any room to guess, to second guess, to think maybe, sort of, kind of, an hour later. No, none of that. So you literally know, okay, I promised myself I'm going to go to the gym 7 a.m. tomorrow. So it is 6:45. You know that you have to get up now if you want to be there by 7. So you literally go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up, and then you're gonna get up, right? So you actually get the thing done then. And I used this recently myself too. Exactly, it was morning, and I was kind of feeling good in my bed, didn't want to get up, but I, of course, had to get up, and I could have stayed there for another 15-30 minutes. It would not have been a big deal, but everything would have been kind of delayed in my day. So I was like, I have to get this done, and that's what I did. It 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and got up and got started with my day. So like I said, it's so simple, it's so genius, and it works really well as long as you are dedicated and disciplined to do this. All right, so these are the 6 tips on discipline. I hope they were helpful for you. Before I wrap up, I want to make sure that you know that you're very welcome to join my Fit and Feel Facebook group, where I share a lot of resources for women just like you. If you have a muscle building, weight loss, fat loss goal, you want to get stronger and you don't want to diet all your life, if you don't want to do this fasting and ketos and whatever, you just want to be fit and healthy and enjoy your life and have your physique goals, this is the group for you. I'm going live there every single Monday evening, talk about different topics, and throughout the week share other valuable content there as well. So you are really welcome to join this group. All right, this is all I have for you today. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I talk to you again very soon. Bye.